just for the listeners who might not remember what Looped is, because it was a long time ago, it was like a geolocation app for phones before the iPhone. But weren't you up on stage when the iPhone launched?
Not when it launched, but like the second year when the App Store launched.
That's so cool, because I remember you had your double polo shirt.
Oh, no.
Popped collar.
Sam's like, please don't bring that up.
But we were all like, Sam is such a badass. He's up on stage giving a talk.
It was very cool.
It's
that
so
was
cool.
like a career highlight.
Had you met Steve Jobs before that?
A little bit before. And then also we had to like audition in front of him to get to go on stage. He reviewed every.
Were you nervous to be auditioning for Steve Jobs?
I hadn't thought about this in years, and I was just telling someone this story a couple of days ago. It is the only time in my life. I grew up with like Steve Jobs as this like really like
icon
figure. Yeah. And then we had this opportunity that maybe we're going to get to present on stage, and that was like so cool. And there was this like very intense prep of 2 weeks on the Apple campus where we like made the iPhone app, and we kept getting feedback from their product design teams about, we want this to change, we want this to change. And then there's like some rehearsals with other executives. And then like the final boss is Steve Jobs. And he's going to decide whether you get to like present in the keynote or not. And it was in a very dark theater on the Apple campus. This is like the old Apple campus, not the new circle thing. This very dark theater. He is sitting in the center of maybe like the third row. The theater is dark except the stage. And you walk up on stage. And he had those like iconic 2 round glasses?
Yeah.
He did. And the only thing you can see because of the light off the stage is his 2 glasses reflecting the light.
Oh my God.
Lenses, yeah.
And I froze. Just, it's the only time in business that I ever felt like this much anxiety. I just froze. And it was probably only like 10 seconds. It felt like minutes. I'm standing on stage. And this guy named James Howard, who did the demo with me, is standing there too, like ready to go. Like my heartbeat is like pounding in my head. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm going to like ruin my whole life and career right now. Finally,
you're probably like 21, right? Like, are you 21?
A little bit older, I think. I think it was 2008. Okay. In my memory, so I was probably 23.
Okay.
But you pulled it together?
No, I did a horrible job. And because I was just like, it was like not an anxiety attack, but like in that direction.
Yeah.
So I did a horrible job, stumble through it, I get my script wrong, whatever. And then I freeze again at the end. And Steve says like, cool, thanks. And we walk off stage. And I think it's like just a disaster. It was bad, but in my head, I think it's like really, really bad. And I send an email to the like woman who had helped us prepare. And I'm like, I'm so sorry for letting you down. I know I really screwed that up, whatever. And she was like, no, like it was a bad presentation, but the content was good. The app looks great. But I'm like convinced that they're like not going to use this as one of the demos. And then we get a call the next day being like, that was great. Like come up to Moscone Center for final rehearsals.
Wow.
And you never found out, like, it must have just been there like, oh, he'll pull it together for the
Something
real thing.
Like
Did you have that kind of anxiety when you got on stage?
Not at all.
The real thing?
Not at all. None.
Wow. So it was
just like Steve Jobs,
Right.
Like by himself in the audience, in a dark audience.
I think there were other people behind him, but it was so dark in those back rows that you couldn't see them at all. The only thing you could see looking out was the crazy like movie theater like scene, just these 2 glowing glasses.